Hello everyone. That's how I look thanks to Nano because that's how me. And I would never have such a nice picture, but yeah, thanks to AI, you can see that looks like a very professional picture that I've been using it for everything. So first of all, I want to ask you guys, did you pick up one brick? How many picked more than one? Be honest, it's okay. Because a lot of times people do it just get a handful. So it's okay. But now you can only just pick one. Take them one hand. Okay. So I want you guys to tell me when you're picking up the brick, when you're thinking about something. If you're thinking about something, please raise your hands. If you're thinking about something. Perfect. That was the first step of the 3-step process that we're going to talk about today that actually makes learning stick. Now, who am I? My name is Saad and Tariq. I am the Chief Learning Experience Officer at Fine Line Consultants, someone who has been bringing in play or purposeful play to my programs for almost 15 years now. And that has to be something with my childhood when I didn't get to play a lot with bricks or something but actually not playing it, right? So what we want to do today is we're going to talk about our brains on neuroscience of play. So the fact that you picked up a piece, I want you to tell me how many of you think that one piece of play can actually help you learn a lot about you and how learning happens? Show hands over, yes.
No chance.
Yes.
No chance.
No chance. Yes. Stanley is working invisible to me. No. And I'm the one who actually agreed with it because I only have 5 minutes. Now, I want you to tell me what do you think a single Lego brick can teach you about how the brain learns? So the simple act of you picking up a brick, it kind of brings in that element of surprise, which is novelty, which means that we break the pattern. We started with something which is surprising, with something that you guys were like, this was not something that I was expecting. What comes next? And I get the attention. So that's the novelty piece of it. The first part of that 3-step process that I talked about, which would help you design learning that actually sticks. So now, when you pick up the brick, I want you to tell me, anyone who wants to volunteer, tell me, what were you thinking? The one word that came into your mind when you picked up the brick. And it could be color as well. Yes, anyone. What color did you pick? Light green. Okay, very good. Anybody else? A word that came into your mind when you were picking up that word is? Sorry? Style? Okay, style. Yes. Was it silo or style? Style. Okay, style. Yes, style. Perfect. Yes. Anybody else? Yes.
I was really thinking about mess because
Okay.
it represents to me like the Legos my kids have, and so I was thinking a little fearful of it.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Yeah, good. Anything else? Yes. Me. Oh, very good. What did you pick? Oh. Yes. Perfect. Yes. Brand. Okay, brand. The Lego brand, right? Or brand. Your brand. What is color of your brand? Wonderful. Very good. So, yes.
So initially I was just ready to pick it, and then I saw a red pigment, and I didn't pick that because for me red is happiness.
Red is happiness. Oh, wonderful. Very good. See, we've got so many different answers, which I think is great. Makes my life so much easier. Because I was thinking that if nobody answers, I need to have someone in the audience that can say, like, who would be my guy? Who will answer all the questions. So moving on to stage 2. So we've talked about stage 1. We're talking about 3 brain levers. The first one is novelty, which is the brain loves surprises. So whenever you're asked to do something that actually is not something you're expecting, you're already invested and we have your attention. Now after this, what I want you guys to do is look at that brick. I want all of you to hold that brick. And I want you to think of a learning experience that you had, or a challenge, or something that you achieved this week, or you're in the process of achieving. And I want you to think, how do you symbolize this with this brick? And I want you to do it with your hands, which means I want you to either flick it, I want you to fold it on the side, or maybe put it in your palm, whatever you want. I want you to show me, if you're thinking of something that has happened this week, what would it present? How would you present it with this Lego brick? Okay, when I see someone's closing it, I will study it, love that, yes. And now I let you read, yes. Oh, A has not top of her head. Oh, 1 minute doesn't mean you should be that to someone. Right? So thank you so much, yes. So this talks about embodiment, which is that now you're invested in this whole idea of what is it we're doing with this brick. So we start off with surprise, where we ask you to come in, and embodiment helps you get them invested, fully immersed in that process. Now, usually what we do within programs is we use Legos to help people build models of what they're thinking, and then it becomes a 3D representation of their thought process. And while they're building, they're taking ownership of that process as a whole. And that's embodiment, that's phase 2, which means that yes, if you are fully immersed in the process, it becomes much easier. Now the last one is narrative, which is the story around it. So if one of you brave souls, not the man on the inside, can tell me a story that would be like this. My brick stands for dash because dash. Now dash is a thing, I guess. Anyone? I want one person, please.
My work stands for my son who loves
My great sense. Thank you so much for sharing that. So we have color blue, and any specific reason why color blue?
because he just was his favorite color.
Very good, this is very color. Thank you. So yes, I know that we have wrapping up now. So quickly, what I want to do is I want to say that whenever you're designing your next learning experience, remember there are 3 things you need to do. You need to add a surprise, add a movement, and add a story to it. Because the story at the end, which is narrative part, which we think that we can talk about quickly wrapping up, is you sharing a story that actually makes it more personal. Because when you're sharing that story, what actually happens is others can relate to that story to a certain level as well. Hence, you get others invested in the whole process. So, what are the 3 steps? The first one is? Very good. The second one? Then you can see over here, I'm talking about the 3 technical ones. Let's go to the technical ones. The first one is novelty. The second one is? The third one is? Thank you so much, everyone. You've been wonderful.